Hey everybody, if you're new to the channel, like, share, and subscribe. So, the district attorney in the Alec Baldwin case has been exposed for her dirty tactics of trying to railroad Alec Baldwin. Now, she didn't do this alone. There were others involved. If you stay tuned, I'll break that down. But now, take a look at the moment this district attorney put herself on trial.
All right, Ms. Morrissey voluntarily calling herself as a witness without any requirement by the court to do so, or Mr. Spiro asking her to. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm under penalty of law that the testimony you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
Now that the district attorney has been sworn in, she is about to give her testimony, her justifications for trying Alec Baldwin in this here trial. Well, her actions leads to the judge's decision. So take a listen here.
During my investigation of this case and my review of the evidence in this case, I came to understand that there was a large batch of live ammunition that was in the possession of Thel Reed, Hannah Gutierrez's father. I also understood from all of the evidence and testimony that a portion of that batch of ammunition that belonged to Thel Reed was taken by Thel Reed and Seth Kinney to the 1883 cowboy training camp. When that was over, leftover ammunition was taken back to PDQ Props. Seth Kinney took some of the ammunition from that container that he had brought back from Texas and turned it into the sheriff's department. And it appeared to me that he did it to try to exonerate himself.
Now, if you take close listen to what she said, how the chain of command went with these bullets, this ammunition that got on set of the Rust film starring Alec Baldwin. She's explaining that the information of how the bullets went from one place to the next, it was her assumption that the people who was responsible was trying to clear their name. She had that information. She deliberately withheld valuable information that could have vindicated even charging this case towards Alec Baldwin. But continue to listen what she does to proceed knowing this information and why it led to the judge's decision.
They took it from Mr. Kinney and they tagged it into evidence under the Rust case. Law enforcement then executed a search warrant at PDQ Props and they took the entire container. And I will say that I do agree, as I recall, although I don't have it in front of me, I do agree that the search warrant didn't really require law enforcement to take everything, but it was my understanding that Mr. Kinney gave them everything so that they would have it and could tag it into evidence. Portions of that ammunition were then sent to the FBI for testing so that they could be compared to the live rounds that were found on the set of Rust. The FBI testing demonstrated that the live rounds that were taken from PDQ Props that were originally in Texas did not match the live rounds on the set of Rust. And that's testimony that we heard during the Gutierrez trial. So what ended up happening was Mr. Bowles, Ms. Gutierrez's lawyer, put Mr. Teskey on a witness list and was intending to call him as a witness to the Gutierrez trial. I conducted a pretrial interview of Mr. Teskey, and I want to back up. I did at this point have some understanding that Mr. Teskey had had contact with law enforcement regarding these rounds that he still had in Arizona. So these are rounds that never left Arizona. They were always in the possession of Thel Reed and Troy Teskey.
Now, this is where the evidence was withheld, because if you have someone wanting to present to you additional ammunition, and it's her belief that it's never ever left Arizona, that was her assumption. Or was it her assumption? That's a question that you guys leave your thoughts in the comment section. We'll talk about it down below. But at that moment, she was aware of additional ammunition. She still proceeds to justify her actions of wrongdoing. Was it her position to assume the ammunition never left Arizona when clearly that same matching ammunition ended up on the Rust set starring Alec Baldwin? Well, continue to listen for her justifications.
They never went to Texas. They never came to New Mexico. That's what all of the evidence indicated. So I understood that Detective Hancock had communication with Mr. Teskey about trying to get those rounds, and Detective Hancock was unable to get those rounds from Mr. Teskey. I did not find that particularly concerning because those rounds had never left Arizona. The filming of Rust was in the state of New Mexico. And the rounds that were taken from PDQ went from Arizona to Texas to Albuquerque. So ammunition that is in the state of Arizona that has never left Arizona did not strike me that it had significant evidentiary value. Then, and I will say, I believe I actually saw a photo of it. At that point in time, I was able to look at the ammunition myself, and it was visibly dissimilar than the rounds from the set of Rust.
Well, even after hearing the district attorney explain the chain of command of how she felt this evidence was not valuable because she felt, or she assumed, the evidence never left Arizona to New Mexico. But obviously it did. And if you have a witness bringing forth evidence and you make this decision to withhold it, this will automatically lead you to a dismissal. And that's exactly what the judge did. That was a great decision, and I applaud the judge. But for this district attorney, she had no right to make that assumption. Rather, she saw ammunition on a photo. She was aware that this ammunition went from Arizona to the set of 1839, also to Albuquerque. But if this is the same batch, then how did a portion of this batch end up on the Rust set? So therefore, at that moment is where she withheld the most valuable evidence. She did not do her due diligence. She did not even attempt to try to obtain or collect this evidence because she made the decision that they did not match. Well, her decision led to the vindication of Alec Baldwin, and rightfully so. There's so much more to this story because there were additional district attorneys, as you saw in the opening statement. That district attorney who opened this case with her statement had resigned on this said day because she found out that this evidence was withheld. She wanted no parts of withholding evidence, let alone convicting an innocent Alec Baldwin. Don't forget to like this video, share it if you will. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribers button if you like this content and you would like to see more. Don't forget to hit that bell notification and select all so you do not miss me when I bring you guys yet another drop. Stay tuned as I show you the other district attorneys who resigned because of this here case. That's my time. I will see you on the next one. Peace.